All right, my dear children of class 11 science, we move to the next important law, and this is also a law based on the energy distribution with respect to temperature. Okay, and the law was formulated by one of the scientists called Stephen, and this particular law is known as Stephen's law. Now, to understand this particular law, let me go back to the curve, the distribution curve, the energy distribution curve based on wavelength at different temperature, which was actually observed by two scientists. As you know, I had mentioned the names. They are Lummer and Pringsteen. Okay. Now, children, if you look at this graph, this is the graph which was observed by Lummer and Pringsteen. Okay. Now, from this graph, Wilhelm made a law known as displacement law. But there was another scientist whose name was Stephen, okay, who also made another law, as I said, that is called Stephen law. And this law is based on the amount of energy which is distributed, okay, and which completely depend upon the temperature. So for that, if you look at this graph, okay, this particular graph, okay, you can see that as the temperature of the body rises, see, as the temperature of the body rises, you can see from T1 to T2, T2 to T3, okay, the area, you can see this is the area, the area enclosed by the what? Distribution curve. This is a distribution curve, goes on increasing, see. So at temperature T1, area enclosed by this distribution curve is very small. At temperature T2, which is more than T1, the area enclosed by this distribution curve is more than T1. And at temperature T3, the area enclosed by this distribution curve is more than at temperature T1 and what? T2. Which means as the temperature rises, okay, as the temperature rises, then the area enclosed by the distribution curve goes on increasing. Now, the area enclosed by the curve actually represent the total what? Radiant energy. So, children, remember this. This area enclosed by the distribution curve represent what energy? Total radiant energy. Okay, for all wavelength emitted by a what body? A black body. Emitted by what? Black body at different temperature. Okay, at what? Different temperature. Now, with this observation, Stephen, okay, he has observed that as the temperature of the surface rises, more and more radiant energy, you can see, okay, energy is emitted by it. So with this, Stephen made a statement, okay, and made a law with the help of mathematical relation, saying that total radiant energy, so listen carefully, total radiant energy emitted per second, just in 100 second, per second, per unit surface area of a black body is directly proportional to the fourth power of the absolute temperature of the body. Means fourth power of the absolute temperature of the body means when the temperature rises, the area enclosed by this distribution increases. Area increases means what is increasing? The energy, the radiant energy, the total radiant energy is increasing. So that means total radiant energy is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. Okay, it means more the temperature, means if the temperature of the surface rises, more and more radiant energy will emitted by the surface from a black body. Okay, so this statement is actually made by the scientist called Stephen, and the law known as what? Stephen law. So children, whatever explanation I made about Stephen law, the same explanation I have written in the form statement. So let me read the statement. And the statement says that the total amount of what? Radiant energy that is emitted per second per unit surface area of a what body? Black body is directly proportional. So this is very important, directly proportional to the fourth power of the what? Absolute temperature of the body. So this is the statement of Stephen law. And this statement, as I said already, is also is made by himself only from that experimental distribution curve, that is called Lummer and Pringsteen experimental distribution curve based on the radiation emitted by the black body. Okay, now I write this statement mathematically. Now for this, let me just consider that capital T as the symbol you can see out here is the absolute temperature of a black body. So absolute temperature of black body is given by capital T, and when we use this capital T, remember children that we measure the temperature in Kelvin. Okay, and Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. Now let capital E be the amount of radiant energy emitted per second per unit surface area of the body. So if this is the consideration I have done it, then I can write the statement mathematically also. So mathematically, E is proportional to T to the power 4, because it said that energy is directly proportional to what? The fourth power of the absolute temperature. So E is directly proportional to T to the power 4. And you know, when proportion sign is removed to what sign? Equals to sign. We have to put some constant. And I write this constant by a symbol sigma. Actually, this symbol is called sigma. But this symbol sigma which we have used out here is actually a constant called Stephan constant. It's called Stephan what? Constant. So E equals to sigma T to the power what? 4. E equals to sigma T to the power what? 4. Now this constant has a certain value, okay, and it has a unit also. So I can write sigma as E by T to the power 4. So if I write sigma as E by T to the power 4, so from here we can write the unit of sigma also. Sigma means Stephan constant. Okay, so you can easily guess what will be the unit. Okay, so the unit can be expressed by the relation sigma equals to E by T to the power 4. But children, remember this E is the energy, total amount of radiant energy emitted per second per unit area. So I can write this even this way also. Q by AT can also be written as E equals to Q by AT, where Q is the amount of radiant energy, okay, or energy emitted, that is expressed by unit joule. Area is measured by unit meter square, and time is measured by unit second. So means this unit can be expressed by joule per meter square per second. See, joule is in the numerator, so meter square if I take in the numerator is meter per meter square. Second from denominator if I take in the numerator per second. So this unit can be joule meter square per second. Or we can also write this as joule per second meter per meter square. And you know joule per second you have learned already is what? Watt. So W means watt, the unit of power, because joule per second means work done per unit time, and work done per unit time means what? Energy per unit time is what? Power. So watt meter square. So the unit of E is can be joule per meter square per second or watt per meter square. So with this the unit of Stephan constant can be written. So look at it, the unit can be expressed now. E unit, let me just put this one, joule meters per meter square per second divided by, now temperature unit is what? Kelvin, but with fourth power means K to the power 4. Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature, but with power 4 means K to the power 4. Now let me take this in the numerator, joule meters per meter square per second and per K to the power minus 4. So we can write this way also, or I can write this unit of Stephan constant as watt, okay, watt per meter square, watt per K to the power 4. So yes, this is the unit. Now we can use this unit and this unit as the SI unit of Stephan constant. Now another thing that we need to keep in mind in this particular law is now in this particular Stephan law is that this particular scientist make this particular relation and the law for a what body? A black body. Okay. Now in the year say 1884, okay, now there was a scientist called Boltzmann. Okay, so Boltzmann gave a theoretical proof, theoretical proof, and proved that the Stephan law, this particular Stephan law, okay, is actually applicable for perfectly black body only. That means this particular law is applicable only for what? Perfectly black body. That's why this Stephan law is also known as Stefan-Boltzmann law. So Stephan law can also be called as what? Stephan Boltzmann law. Now why Stephan-Boltzmann law? Because Boltzmann also gave some theoretical proof regarding the validity or the verification of Stephan law. That's why we can combine the name of both the scientists to express this particular law known as Stephan-Boltzmann's law. Okay, so no difference with Stephan laws and Stephan-Boltzmann law. Okay. Now from this law, one important point you have to note it down, and the note is that the rate of radiant energy emitted The rate of radiant energy emitted means the amount of radiant energy emitted per unit area per unit second does not depend upon the shape and size of the material. You take perfectly black body of any shape or any material, okay, but the amount of this radiant energy emitted per unit area per unit per unit second, okay, depends only on the what? Temperature. Means when temperature changes, then the rate of emission of this energy increases. Whereas if this energy does not depend upon the shape, area and the size of the what? Perfect black body. Now one point even I want to add out here is that practically if you see, there is no body which is perfectly black. Practically there is no body which is perfectly black means there is no body which is 100% perfect black which can emit the radiation, okay, by 100%. Okay, now but the more important is that the wavelength distribution in the radiation of black body, as you saw in the graph also, depends only on the what? Temperature of the what? Body. That's why the energy completely depends upon the temperature. Okay, so this is the importance of Stefan law, also called as Stefan-Boltzmann law. Okay, so children, I have explained a little about Stefan law or Stefan-Boltzmann's law. Now next law that we need to even study is called Kirchhoff's law, and that we learn in the next YouTube video.